Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaimMD here. Today we have another Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl moveset video guide on how to use Torterra. I love Torterra. It was my first starter when I first played Pokemon Diamond. I then played it again with Infernape and then after with Empoleon, but Torterra was the first one I used, so I am a big fan. That man carries the whole weight of the world on its shoulders. If you guys have been enjoying these moveset video guides or anything Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, feel free to subscribe and leave a like. I'm on my way to 300K. And yeah, we have Wi-Fi battles hopefully coming out later this week. Also later today, I'll be showing off Torterra in a Pokemon Showdown live, so you get to see this mon in action. So the first set we have takes advantage of Torterra's base 109 attack stat and good dual stab. By that I mean that Earthquake is probably one of the best moves in the game. Doesn't miss, decent PP, and just like it's strong, right? So that's all you can really ask for of a move. So the first set is Choice Band Torterra, and I'm actually going to be using this set in the OU tier. Now, Earthquake and Woodhammer are super strong and very free. Like Earthquake is a 2-hit KO on Breloom. Like that's just how strong that Torterra is with Stab Earthquake. And then Woodhammer is just your grass move of choice. Now, the next move can be either Crunch or Stone Edge, depending on the tier that you end up playing this or where you end up playing with it. I like Crunch because Crunch is a KO on Latios from full HP, which I think is pretty sick. Whereas Stone Edge can allow you to deal with like certain birds, but because the bird or the main birds in the OU tier are Skarmory, which you don't really deal with, but you can pair this thing with a Magnezone. It does pair really well with Magnezone. And Gliscor, which does not take two Woodhammers, no matter what, right? If it's physically defensive, you Woodhammer. If they roost, they lose your flying type, and then you kill them with Woodhammer. If it's special defensive, they get 2-hit KO by Woodhammer anyway, so it doesn't take it. So the only other flying type that really comes to mind, besides Zapdos, obviously, would be Clefable. But Clefable, what the heck did I just say? Togekiss. But that's where the last move comes to play, and that is Heavy Slam. And Heavy Slam actually does more to Togekiss than Stone Edge does. Heavy Slam is a guaranteed KO on max HP Togekiss, whereas Stone Edge can do around 89% minimum to, potentially a KO. Sorry, I was just excited because, I mean, the prospect of Heavy Slam it still does like 76 to like 90% as well to Latios, which is pretty cool. But Heavy Slam being able to KO special defensive Clefable is so cool, as well as Togekiss. So I really like that about this Pokemon. So max attack, max speed allows to outspeed min speed Rotoms, Suicune if they're min speed as well, so you outspeed them and knock them out with Hood Hammer respectively. And then you have Overgrow because the lower you get because of your signature move, well not your signature move, but your main move Woodhammer. It was a signature move at a point, right? But because of your move Woodhammer, the stronger it can potentially be if you get down to a minimal amount of HP. But I'm excited to use Choice Band Torterra. You can tell I'm excited about this. Crunch is also pretty cool because it allows you to deal with Bronzong with Levitate, which otherwise walls the rest of your set. The next set we have is a Rock Polish Torterra, taking advantage of the fact that it has slow speed, but with Rock Polish you can boost to +2, and it has good coverage, right? Woodhammer, Earthquake, and Stone Edge respectively. I think that on Rock Polish you do want Stone Edge, mainly because I don't like Heavy Slam as much on a Life Orb set, and Stone Edge is just good for Dragonite, and it's good for Togekiss, and if you're Rock Polishing, most of the time you don't want to switch, whereas when you're Choice Band, you can't switch moves, but you want to go for the move that will hit the most in the tier, right? Stone Edge just gives you that right now after being able to switch up moves for the most part, right? Like you Rock Polish and you have to switch out because of the flying type. No, you don't want that. So you run Stone Edge on the Rock Polish set with a Life Orb for the added damage. This Torterra actually used to run, Torterra used to run this actually with Z-moves was back in the day, back in the day, like last generation. But obviously there's no Z-moves right here, but this does allow Torterra to be a potent sweeper. You can run Jolly or Adamant. I think Adamant is fine in the current OU tier just because you're faster than basically everything. So at +2. The next set we have is a physically defensive Torterra set. Now this is going to be better, I think, when lower tiers come out, and this is typically, your go-to Flygon answer, your go-to Zygarde isn't in the tier at all, but this was like the Choice Band Zygarde answer before as well in lower tiers, Zygarde 10%. So this is just your physically defensive Torterra. You have Shell Armor because you do not get crit because of Shell Armor. That's awesome on a wall. Stealth Rock, since Torterra is a great Stealth Rocker, and this is able to check certain bulky waters. Synthesis is there with the leftovers. Those are your ways of longevity. Synthesis obviously heals you, whereas leftovers will be healing you turn per turn. And then you still have Woodhammer just because while you could run Seed Bomb, just the added power, like Torterra does base 109 attack. So uninvested, it has 254 attack. So it's still a pretty decently strong Pokemon. But this is like your ground check, and Torterra has some good resistances with being grass and ground anyway, and ground being the main one is really nice for it. It's also, you know, your rock check if they have like a strong rock type Pokemon, and it can also check the electric types as well. So if Magneton is usually like in lower tiers, Torterra was there to check it. Well, this is physically defensive, so watch out for specs. And I have enough speed to outspeed uninvested base 60s and below. So basically outspeed like Pokemon like Clefable, just if they're not uninvested. The next set, of course, is Special Defensive Torterra. So this, again, another one that people use in the lower tiers. Exact same move set, and just going more towards a specially based build. Maybe the strongest Pokemon in the tier is an electric type, right? But Torterra can deal with that. So like Raikou, for instance. Raikou's moveset is Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Scald. Scald does happen on its moveset, so that is something. There's no Hidden Power Ice right now, so Raikou can't run Hidden Power Ice, so it can't KO you. But Scald is there, as well as Shadow Ball. So if it's running Choice Specs, it might run those 4 moves. This Torterra will deal with that for days. Obviously, it does have to worry about the 30% chance of Raikou burning it. But just like you're a better electric check by being especially defensive. Like if Tapu Koko, for instance, was in the tier, this would be a pretty decent check to it as well, but it's not. But yeah, just being able to be a nice special wall. You're even able to take like flamethrowers from non-stab Pokemon, just a secondary coverage, and you know, you'll be able to live flamethrower from Electivire, because usually Torterra and Electivire end up in the same tier as well. So if you need a special wall that can deal with bulky waters, but that also gives you Stealth Rock, but can also deal with electric types, Torterra is your guy. And then the last set is a Swords Dance set. Now, I do think that the EVs, I just ran Max Attack, Max Speed because, you know, the metagame is still developing. We don't even have lower tiers yet. And I still do think that Choice Band Torterra, don't get me wrong, I do think that Choice Band Torterra definitely has a niche in the OU tier. And I'm really hoping that later in the video, I haven't recorded it, but later in the next video, I'm able to show you guys just how strong that Pokemon can be. But Swords Dance Torterra is something that can also take advantage of water types in a tier, and it's decent speed tier. Like base 56 isn't the worst, because, for example, in a previous generation, you were faster than Drampa, which is not in the tier, but just something like Demote, like you were faster than Drampa. So you could outspeed them and knock them out with +2 Earthquake. So, but in some variations, maybe you're going to be able to run bulkier versions of this that can set up on certain Pokemon easier once the tiers have developed. So the first set, or the main set, is Swords Dance, Woodhammer, Earthquake, and Synthesis. You have Synthesis for that longevity. Now, I put Lumberry as an option over like Life Orb for the power, just because this allows you to set up on Pokemon going for Scald, right? Let's say you want to use this in the OU tier, for instance, right? The current metagame that's going on, and your opponent has a Run and Wash, and you want to go for Swords Dance because you notice that if you get +2, you can sweep. So you go for Swords Dance. You're faster than Run and Wash if they are min speed with max investment, and you don't have to fear them going for Will-O-Wisp because you have a Lumberry to heal you just in case they end up burning you. And this thing is also pretty cool because with max speed, you're also faster than the special defensive Scizors running around. So with a little bit of chip on them, you actually KO it with +2 Earthquake, just with a little bit of damage. So it's just to show that this Pokemon does have a place, and Lumberry makes it easier for you to be a setup sweeper. But that's basically what I have for Torterra. There are other options, like a Learn Sewer Power. You could probably use it on Choice Band and lower tiers. It gets Curse, but I don't currently like that set, so I didn't really want to make anything about it. I do think that on support sets as well, if you don't want to run, if you just want to run like Earthquake or Woodhammer, if you want to run like Seed Bomb, if you feel a little bit better over Woodhammer, I just like the power of Woodhammer. And then Leech Seed also has potential on the defensive sets as well. So it's really up to you what you want to do with it. But I just gave you, like, you know, I gave you what I have, and you can go on more if you want to see, oh, but maybe Leech Seed's better because you notice that you force switches, so you're getting recovery off of something. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Again, check out the Torterra video that is coming out later today, and make sure you subscribe. And also, if you want to pick up Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, or even pre-order Pokemon Legends Arceus, I do have a Best Buy affiliate link down below. If you're going to get them and you live in the U.S., you know, you can support me for free. Well, you got to buy it, but, you know, additionally for free. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.